Let's talk about a sticking point prolonging the government shutdown: health care. Specifically, the Affordable Care Act subsidies due to expire at the end of this year. For that, we want to bring in Republican Senator Britt from Alabama. Senator Britt, thanks so much for your time. You've said that you're open to a conversation about extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies, but with adjustments. What would you like to see changed?
Well, first, I want us to open the government, Linsey. Look, this is needless politics by the Democrats. We have people that are really paying the price. This weekend, I traveled all over the state of Alabama. I talked to people who had been furloughed. I talked to small business owners who said, look, we can't make it one more week. I talked to people who felt like that we were way out of touch up here, not making sure that the resources that they depended on were there. And so I think we've got to get back and make sure that the Democrats open the government so that people can get their paychecks, so that WIC can continue, and truly so that things like food stamps don't run out. There are real issues that are coming to play because of the politics that Democrats are playing. When you look at this ACA conversation that Democrats are bringing into the fold here, look, this is a problem of their own making, Linsey. If you go back to Obamacare, starting in 2010, you move to 2014 where they began these subsidies. These COVID-era subsidies that they're talking about right now began in 2021, renewed in 2022. They themselves actually set the deadline in 2025 for the expiration of these subsidies. At the end of the day, what we're hearing from people is that there is fraud in these, that there is abuse, and it's not necessary for people who may be millionaires or make $600,000 a year to receive these. So if these are going to continue, you certainly have to make sure that there are reforms so that things are sustainable.
And as you mentioned, the nation's anti-hunger program, SNAP, plays a critical role in reducing poverty, including for residents in your home state of Alabama. In the fiscal year 2024, more than 750,000 residents, or 15% of your state's population, benefited from SNAP. What are you doing to try to ensure that those benefits aren't interrupted because of the shutdown?
Yeah, we actually just had this conversation today. I was able to speak with Russ Vought. Obviously, money is running out, and people will go without their SNAP benefits as soon as the end of this month or the very beginning of the next month. Look, these are real things. These are real consequences, and this is what I wish my Democrat colleagues would realize. They can open the government today, vote on a clean CR. Linsey, you have been doing this a long time. You know that this bill is just something that they have voted on 13 times. Republicans did not put any type of nugget in there, no Republican priority. Our only priority was the American people.
Today, Majority Leader John Thune took to the Senate floor and blamed far-left Democrats for blocking the government funding bill 11 times. Then Minority Leader Chuck Schumer pointed the finger right back at Republicans. Let's take a listen.
What the heck is he talking about? How is it far left to say we want to lower health care premiums and spare tens of millions of people from financial ruin? Far left? Tell that to an American family whose premiums will go up from $200 a month to $1,400 a month.
So you've argued that this conversation must wait until the government reopens. State insurance officials warn that it's actually already too late to update rates before consumers start shopping for their 2026 coverage on November 1st. An independent research group at KFF estimates premiums will increase by more than twofold next year if the subsidies expire. So do you agree that it's urgent to have this health care conversation now and perhaps not wait?
Well, look, here on the subsidies issue, let's be clear. When it comes to the increases that people will see in 2026, 80% of those increases are just because of Obamacare. They have absolutely nothing to do with the subsidies. What Democrats are showing here is they know the system that they created is absolutely broken. And so they are clamoring for someone to blame, and they are doing their best to latch on to this.
By law, you and many of your Senate colleagues are still getting paid while many government employees are working for free. How do you square that with them?
Yeah, so I actually put out at the very first day of the shutdown and said, look, please withhold my paycheck until other government employees are being paid again. I will not take a paycheck when people are not getting their SNAP benefits. I will not take a paycheck when people who are working at FAA to keep our skies safe are not getting one. I will not take a paycheck when we're not sure how we're going to pay the military when their next paycheck comes. And so I would hope that every one of my Democratic Democratic colleagues who continue to vote no on these CRs to open back up the government and give people the benefits and the pay that they deserve will withhold their pay as well. And so that's how I square it up. I'm not taking it. I think that we need to lead by example, and certainly the people who are keeping us from opening this government should do the same.
Senator Katie Britt, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Linsey.